2 words. That's all Charles Bukowski left the world when he died. 2 words, carved into a gravestone in a cemetery in San Pedro, California. Don't try. Now, on the surface, that sounds like the most depressing gravestone in human history. But those 2 words might be the most honest advice you've ever been given. And the reason why will completely change how you think about work, purpose, and what it means to be truly alive. Charles Bukowski was born in Germany in 1920. By the time he was 6 years old, his father was beating him regularly. As an immigrant kid in America, he was mocked for his accent and his clothes. Then, as a teenager, a severe skin condition covered his face with acne so extreme that other kids avoided him. Abuse at home, ridicule outside, skin that felt like a public advertisement for his own humiliation. Most people would be destroyed by that combination. Bukowski turned it into fuel. Here's what he said about his father later in life, and this is one of the most disturbing yet brilliant things. Quote, "My father was a great literary teacher. He taught me the meaning of pain, pain without reason." End quote. And then he goes on to say, quote, "When you get the shit kicked out of you long enough, you will have a tendency to say what you really mean." End quote. That's the whole philosophy right there. Keep that in mind. We'll come back to it. In his 20s, Bukowski quit college, bounced around the US doing blue-collar work and wrote hundreds of short stories, but almost none were published. So he stopped. For nearly a decade, Bukowski put down the pen entirely. He drank, he worked the post office, he quietly disappeared into the life of a man who had given up on the thing he loved most. Then, at 35 years old, he nearly died. A bleeding ulcer, hospitalized, almost didn't make it out. He survived, and something shifted. He picked up the pen again. He started writing, and this time he didn't stop, even when he had to go back to the post office, even when the rejection letters kept piling up. Every morning before his shift, he sat down and wrote, for years, in near total obscurity, publishing pieces in underground magazines almost nobody read. And he kept going. At 50 years old, when most people are already planning retirement, Bukowski got his offer. A small publisher named John Martin at Black Sparrow Press offered him a deal, a monthly stipend to write full-time. The catch? He'd have to quit the post office, his only stable income, at 50, with no savings, no guarantee of anything. Every sensible person in life would have thought to quit was madness. Bukowski took the deal. He wrote his first novel, Post Office, in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Because 3 decades of compressed experience, failure, loneliness, and observation finally had somewhere to go. And from that point forward, he became one of the most read, most quoted, most felt writers of the 20th century. He didn't change when he got famous. He didn't suddenly become polished, sophisticated, or safe. He stayed exactly who he was. Crude, unfiltered, brutally honest. And that's precisely why people couldn't stop reading him. Success didn't make him. He was already made. Success just showed everyone what was already there. So, back to the gravestone. Don't try. In a letter to his friend, Bukowski wrote, quote, "Too many writers write for the wrong reasons. They want to get famous or rich or get laid. When everything works best, it's not because you chose writing, but because writing chose you. It's when you're mad with it, when it's stuffed in your ears, your nostrils, under your fingernails. When there's no hope but that." End quote. When there's no hope but that. Not when it's your passion, not when you believe in yourself. When there is no option that feels like living. And then he said something that should be on a wall somewhere. Quote, "We work too hard, we try too hard. Don't try, don't work, it's there, looking right at us, aching to kick out of the closed womb." End quote. So here's what Bukowski is actually saying. When something is genuinely yours, when it's part of your actual wiring, you don't try to want it. You just want it. You don't try to care about it. You're already up at night thinking about it. You don't need to be motivated. You need to be stopped. Think about your favourite colour. Nobody tried to have a favourite colour. Nobody sat down and deliberately and decided. It just is. Some colours hit your brain differently, and that's not a choice. Bukowski is saying your purpose works the same way. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because he's also saying the inverse. If you have to try to care about something, maybe you don't actually care. If you have to manufacture motivation every morning, if you need a playlist, an accountability partner, or a 75-day challenge just to keep going, Bukowski might look at that and say, don't try. Not because effort is bad, but because forced effort on the wrong thing is the most expensive thing you can spend your life on. Bukowski is not telling you to be lazy. This man wrote every single day for 30 years before anyone noticed. That is not laziness. That is one of the most sustained creative acts in modern literary history. The distinction is this: Bukowski didn't try to be a writer. He didn't try to want to write. He didn't try to enjoy the process. He just wrote compulsively because the alternative, not writing, felt worse than anything else. He tried in the sense that he showed up. He didn't try in the sense that he never had to talk himself into it. There's a line he wrote that is arguably the most honest thing anyone has ever said about commitment. Quote, "If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start." End quote. And he meant it. He said going all the way might cost you relationships, comfort, financial security, maybe even your mind. People will abandon you, others will think you're crazy, society will call you a failure. He did it anyway, for 30 years, in obscurity, without applause, because the alternative, dying slowly at the post office, was worse. Here's the question. Is there anything in your life that you return to even when it doesn't reward you? Something you do before anyone else is awake. Something you'd keep doing even if you knew nobody would ever see it. Something that, when you imagine never doing it again, doesn't feel like relief. It feels like loss. If yes, Bukowski would say, go all the way. But if the honest answer is no, if the things you call your passion are really just things you wish you were passionate about, because they look good or make sense, or because other people seem to love them, then maybe the bravest thing you can do is stop trying to force it. Stop performing effort for something that doesn't have you. Because your actual thing, your real thing, your colour is out there. And it probably looks nothing like what you expected. It might be inconvenient. It might be financially stupid. It might embarrass you to say it out loud. But you already know what it is. You've always known. Charles Bukowski spent 30 years being told he wasn't enough. He died one of the most read writers in the world. And he left 2 words on his grave. Not keep going, not believe in yourself or never give up. Just don't try. He said this because the people who change things, the ones who make something real, they were never trying in the first place. They were just doing the things they knew how to do. The only question is, what's yours? Let me know in the comments. If this video made you feel something, not just think something, but actually feel something, that's Bukowski doing his job from beyond the grave. Hit subscribe if you want more of this, and leave a comment below. What is the thing you can't stop returning to, even when it costs you? Thanks for watching.